One of the most common misconceptions in science is individuals believing an object is hard to push because it is heavy. This misconception arises due to a lack of individuals understanding certain scientific concepts, and in this case, Newton's law of motion. Newton's first law is often referred to as the law of inertia. Inertia is described as an object with mass having tendency to resist change in motion unless acted upon by another force. The two following short clips are examples of objects being pushed at different levels of force to move based off their inertia. In the clips, we see that the ball only required my hand's force to push it into motion, whilst it required my whole body to push the car. This is due to an object with more mass having greater inertia, therefore making it harder to push the car than the ball under the same gravitational force. If the same force were applied to both objects, the ball would accelerate at a much faster rate as it has less inertia than the car. As seen before, it takes a larger force to push an object into motion that has more inertia. Objects that require a larger force to move will also require a larger force to stop. This was founded by Galileo as he came to the conclusion that the more inertia an object had, the harder it is to change its motion. The following two clips consist of different objects being stopped using different amounts of force based off their mass. In the two clips, there was a great difference between the amount of force required to stop the car than to stop the ball. This is due to the car having more mass and greater inertia, requiring my whole body to stop it. This in comparison with the ball, which only required my hand to stop its motion. The main reason this misconception is still as common as it is due to it partially being correct in saying a heavier object is harder to push because it is heavy. It is partially correct because the heavier an object is, under the same forces, the more mass the object will have. The reason this is a misconception is that it isn't the weight that makes the object hard to push, but the amount of inertia the object has, as seen in this diagram. We now know this because of the discoveries of Newton and his first law of inertia. Galileo also contributed to the understanding of this misconception when discovering that objects with more inertia would be harder to stop. In conclusion, this misconception will still exist due to the lack of knowledge about scientific concepts. We can also conclude from this that this misconception will be most prevalent for young individuals as they will not have full understanding of scientific laws and concepts. Thank you for watching.